author?
And to be an author, it's awesome and scary and exciting. While I was writing Uriel's Gift, I was terrified that somebody might read it and I would be exposed. Not quite sure why I was afraid of that. But having finished it and having people actually read it and enjoy it and get something out of it is very empowering. And a lot of fun. It also by writing down my experiences and talking to people about it, it opens them up to more depth. Mm-hmm. It helps to peel back layers to understand what's underneath the original visions, and that's just going to keep going.
So how long did it take you to write it?
The book starts 20 years ago, and it only got published last year. So to write it, the first 10 years I spent trying not to. And so really to write it, it took 10 years to get the rubbish out of my head, and then 10 years to write it. But all that time I was having the experiences that went in the book. So there's no way it could have been done in any shorter period of time, because I had to have the experiences to put in the book.
What kind of guidance did you have?
While I was writing the book, when I got stuck, I would ask for help, and Jesus would show me visions of what to do next. So that was quite helpful, and they become an integral part of the book. So the book is my spiritual journey and my guidance. It's a bit circular. It's like the book is part of me and I'm part of the book. They're not really separable.
So what was your writing process? What did you do? How did you come about to create such a memoir?
Yeah. What I did to write Uriel's Gift was I would meditate, and write what came to me. When I had visions, I would write them down straight away and then spend time meditating and interpreting them. I always carried a notebook with me and wrote down my thoughts about what I was experiencing. Then it got to a point where everything I'd written was like a tangled ball of fishing line, and I didn't know what to do next. So I asked Jesus for help, and he showed me a vision of a tangled ball of fishing line with two coloured lots of fishing line, one dark, one light. And I was trying to untangle them in the dark, and nothing was going right. Then a light come from over my right shoulder, and I could untangle the fishing lines, and when I did, I turned to my right, and Jesus was standing there. So it was his light that helped me to untangle and throw away the rubbish that I got out of my head. So to do that, I just printed it out on a computer and burnt it. And I found that after I did that, I've got no recollection of the stuff that was rubbish. I've just kept the good stuff, and that's turned out to be Uriel's Gift.
Mm-hmm. So you used to have like a number of chapters and pieces of paper on the wall. Can you talk us through how you did all that stuff?
Yeah, while I was writing Uriel's Gift, I'm not that familiar with computers, so having notes on a computer didn't really work for my head, so I had to type them up, print them out, and stick them on the wall and lay them out on the floor and put them on tables and put them on different coloured paper and use highlighter pens and shuffle and tweak and put them in order, and then put them back on the computer and in the correct order.
What about the way you saw the book before it was published? Like,
yeah, one of the visions I had that I call "Follow the Earthen Cascade." In that vision, I draw my female half draws the book out from under a rock and opens it on a particular page. On that page was a drawing. Under the drawing, I could read in italics, "Follow the Earthen Cascade," and that in that vision, I could see the book. I could see the size of the book. I could feel the weight of the book. I could see the type of paper. I could feel the texture. I could see the type of font and the spacings and the setup on the page. So the book in its entirety is rippled out from that page, which is page 66. And I spent 2 or 3 years fiddling around with the computer because I had no idea how to format to get the page to look exactly how it was in that vision, and I couldn't finish the book until I had the page on my document to look exactly like that vision. And so now when you open the book on the page 66, that's exactly what I saw then.
And what advice do you have for anyone who wants to write their own spiritual memoir?
If you want to write your own spiritual memoir, the best thing to do is just start. Either buy yourself a pen and paper, or do it on the computer or your phone or your iPad, it doesn't matter which. I keep a pad next to my bed with a red, blue and a green pen and a torch, so that whenever I have a thought, if I wake up in the middle of the night, I can write it down. So just write, doesn't matter what it is, don't think about it, just write what comes to mind. Then after a little while, go back over it and you'll find that you've got some awesome stuff. Everybody has. It's just we discard most of it and think it's nonsense. But listen to your own advice. You have good advice. Everybody can do it themselves.